I just ran out of ink. It's embarrassing not to have a spare. You're a writer.
Yeah, what kind of writer are you?
No kidding. Oh, dear. It's a girlfriend.
Oh, did you?
Oh, no. Didn't-
She got it.
Okay. I motion to approve ordinance.
I'll second, all in favor.
Aye.
Oh, sign. No, I don't have a pen.
Oh,
Please, like, not a blue one. Then this guy here, he wanted to go ahead and speak first, so he can get out of here. Okay.
Move the front of the line.
Yeah.
Just like that. That
that's
was
the good
simple.
stuff.
Well, I just want to give you guys an update. Last time I was here talking about forming committees and running ads in the paper and that kind of stuff. But it seems like we're gonna be stalled for now, with it because they ran into some, I don't know, legal mumbo jumbo about the township being able to transfer or give money to the town. And it's not allowed, certain ways or not. So unless they figure out, a way to make that happen, then they're not gonna be able to. They can come up with a match for a planning grant, but when it comes to construction, they're not, the fire department doesn't have, nearly, that much, so. He said, and, Mark Silvermeyer said, until they figure that part out, it's probably just gonna be on hold for now, so. We won't have to do any of that stuff that I talked about last month just yet, unfortunately,
Okay.
so. Just wanna come and give you guys an update on that.
So what's kind of holding it up exactly? You know,
Um,
Michelle?
So for some reason, then they talked to somebody at the state, I think it's the State Board of Finance. And they said that the township can't just give money to the town because they would be providing the match for the grant, since the town is the actual grantee. in the
Grantee, yeah.
application or whatnot. And then later down the line, Bruce Cisna, I believe.
Yeah.
He was talking to Nathan over there and said that there might even be issues with the owning the property and that kind of stuff with, between the township and the fire department and town, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of stuff that would have to be figured out as far as being able to get the money over to the town to be able to provide the match for those kind of things. So, till they get that part figured out, if they can figure some work around, whatnot, they don't have the match for it, so. Can't move forward with it.
So what was the original reason why the town had to apply for the grant?
Okra, the Office of Community Rural Affairs, they only accept applications from municipalities, towns, cities, and, counties, that kind of thing. So like the townships, couldn't be an applicant. The town had to apply on behalf of, the fire department in this case.
But then it also says that the township can't fund that.
Well, the township could apply, the town has to apply.
Right.
But Okra doesn't really care so much where the match comes from. This has to do with like state regulations with their accounting and that kind of stuff. As far as transferring money from one, I don't know if it's just from one public entity to another. I'm not really versed on all that kind of stuff. The state said, no, you can't, not allowed to do that. So,
What are we allowed to do?
yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
That's what I shoot back at him.
Figure- Keep kind of working on it and see, figure out a workaround to that or some way, but as of right now, they've kind of put a stop to that, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for letting us know.
So if that changes, I'll be back again.
Okay,
We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
yeah, and thank you for all your help, even to
Yes.
get us here, so.
Yeah, cause like, I mean, even on like Bruce's little caveat or whatever, it's talking about property, I mean, the board had already talked about too,
Yeah, we did.
you know, deeding that property to the fire department to take care of that ahead of time, so it's, I don't foresee that one. I wonder if there's any kind of workaround. Cause does Jackson Township have the funding if they moved on past the planning grant to be able to come up with a portion to even do the construction side of it?
That I'm not 100% sure. There was something, I think I remember seeing something about they are able to create that fund or whatnot. Kind of thing. I don't know if the monies actually are still sitting there like currently. I mean, but they'd have time to come up with that because it takes a while to do that anyway, plus going through the planning first and then so on and so forth. But I mean, I don't know what a fire station costs, but it'd be 20%.
Cheap.
It'd be 20% of $1 million, so.
Yeah, you're probably 200,000 probably.
You know, you're talking about a couple $100,000.
I'd say at least, and I guess my biggest thing, like with planning grants, so many times, and I'm just gonna be 100% transparent, planning grants fund engineering firms. That's what they do. It's like, we keep pouring money into engineering firms and we come up with all these plans and then we never move forward.
Because of the cost.
I mean, it's just,
Construction
that's
costs.
where everything stops. It's like, well, you know, Okra and rural development and all these, they can always come up with money for planning. It seems like everybody wants to make a whole lot of plans and nobody ever wants to do anything.
Mhm.
You know, so it's like,
We ran out of funds before we
Well,
got
yeah,
to the
they make
construction.
Having
yeah,
hard joke
they make
about
it
the-
favorable with the
The
construction.
money's
price.
in my checking.
Yeah,
I just gotta get it.
yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, it's like, I'm all in favor
The
for it.
planning, I mean, the planning is nothing, the only tangible you have then is that
Future safe.
that book says, here's your options, here's the history of the town, and here's what we project for the future kind of stuff. And I mean, there is some value in that, but at the end of the day, you don't have a new fire station. I
Absolutely.
think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, we don't have a fire station. We don't have, you know, water infrastructure that can support fire suppression, you know, or anything like that. It's like but yeah, we can fund fiber to everybody out in the county, but we can't get lower insurance rates because we're not fire protected. We can't even get a new fire station. You know, so it's tough. But yeah, I think everything you did, if you need help with workarounds or whatever, if I can help out somehow, I'd be more than happy to as well. It'd be really nice if they could say, well, we'll give the money to the fire department, then the fire department can pay the town for the property, you know, or something like that. And then the town comes up with that portion of it somehow, some way. I don't know if that's even a workaround, you know, I don't know. There's gotta be some way.
You would think so. Since
So-
they figured it out, where they're gonna, you know, State Board of Accounts doesn't come and knock on the door.
Absolutely.
Gotta find the right person.
And that's the thing, and with the, you know, with the Okra too, is we're just beholden of all these things that they've set in motion. Just like.
Well,
they-
yeah, that's
you know,
what
they can't
gets
apply
me. If a-
themselves, they gotta go through the town. And
If a
Okra does
township
stuff
can
like
apply,
that.
but we can't give them the money when we apply, like, then you just can't.
It's,
You just can't.
I don't like that word. I struggle with
I
that
know.
word a lot.
Right, I
You
agree with that
cannot.
too. It's like,
Yeah.
not can't, but how do we do it? Well.
That's right. Yeah.
it's roadblocks.
Ain't.
You can't do that.
I appreciate it.
You better
I
don't.
mentioned that. My name's Steve.
My name's Marty Brown.
You better
Nice to meet
don't.
you. Yeah.
You too. Okay. Well, like I said, I'll let you guys know if anything changes or whatnot, and I'll come back.
Well, I guess my question is whose court is the ball in for finding the workaround? Is Mark working on that with someone
Um,
or?
yeah, I mean, it probably would be, because you know, we can ask a couple of questions and stuff, but really, you know, between him and,
Or does Mark
and-
need
and-
to?
and
I know
it's
you
gotta be a
know.
legal question, really, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a legal expert. I'm not gonna tell you that you can do X and Y, because you don't wanna take that advice from me. So, yeah, it's gonna come down to probably working with some kind of attorney too, to make sure it's right, or State Board of Council, I'm not sure, but, you know, hopefully Mark's still working on.
He doesn't,
Brainstorming that.
he doesn't quit easy either.
Good,
Good.
Yeah.
good, good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Take care, y'all.
Me too.
You too. right? I
Miss Alfred's
guess
not in here?
Alfred's not here. Didn't leave anything or?
No, Alfred was wanting to know if we was interested in this.
The 52 gun. rifle. City multi-hazard mitigation.
Mhm.
Guys required to meet an in-kind match. 5%.
Earned through time spent participating in the update process at meetings. Well, it does say outside, cause a meeting in 2 days at 11 AM, we have jobs.
Yeah, that's a good point. What, they need somebody from the board to be there?
No, actually, they sent it to Alfred. He just, I think he might plan to attend. He just didn't know if anyone else was interested.
Yeah, if he's available, that'd be great if he would take the spot on this one.
What's it about?
The, what was it called? Multi-hazard mitigation plan. It's a plan required by FEMA to be updated every 5 years. They're working with the Polis Center at IUPUI to update county information. And all the county, we all have to participate. Incorporated communities and the.
In order to be
county
eligible for mitigation funds, that's what
To be
you are
eligible for
required to
funds.
participate. Yes.
Okay, I missed that.
So, but then what's the? You have to
So-
meet an in-kind match of 25%, which is earned through time spent participating in this update process at meetings and outside. So you have to have so much time,
Yeah, however many meetings they have, we have to
like a
attend at least
recertification.
25%
Okay.
of them.
Yeah, if he
Be
could
eligible for
be
funds.
the one that does that, that could just be part of his hours.
But that is a good question. I don't know if you wish to apply for mitigation funds. I don't even know what those
In the
are.
next 5 years, I don't either.
Mitigation projects.
So to improve the disaster resiliency of our communities.
Yeah. I agree. If Alfred can go, that's would be, we're good. All right, water and wastewater, or did you? No, yeah, water and wastewater.
So we repaired 2 leaks, repaired 8 meters actually replaced. We replaced 3, replaced 2 full meter sets, and we'll begin flushing probably towards the end of this month. And right after this tonight, I'm meeting with some property owners in Lincoln City along 1600 and 325. So that's basically from the high school, out in front of the high school, all the way over to Lincoln Stretch, essentially right there in Lincoln City. Right now, we currently have 2 water mains that service kind of that area. We have a 6-inch that comes off of Santa Claus and feeds this tank. And we have a 3-inch also that feeds the 3 houses and the old Lincoln Boyhood Farm. And what we're working on now is getting everybody off that 3-inch, and then we're going to abandon it and do away with it. It's just it's kind of in a bad location. It's an older line. We've had some issues on it. So just moving everybody over, and course, that'll be at our cost. Biggest thing for me is we have to cross properties at new spots, so it's working out getting easements and how we're gonna lay it. Part of that comes from the new Santa Claus Trail project, the way they're going through, and yeah, we need to abandon it, but I'll have that meeting tonight, so I'll know. Like Lincoln Boyhood, we already run in front of that, and we'll go down the same easement, so we'll do that one right away. I've already got permission and easement on one, and then just kind of waiting on these last two property owners. So, like I said, I meet with one of them tonight, and then that'll let me know, because I need to cross him to get to the other one. Anyway, working on that. And then we finished discharging this past month, and we should be good probably for the rest of the year to at least get us into winter. On the town side of things, first and simplest, the park grant application for the Spencer County Park and Rec. We've got it turned in. Been a lot of use on the new pickleball court. I mean, a ton. I've seen more people at the park this year than I've ever seen. So part of that, there's nowhere to sit up there. There's no shade, hardly anything certain times of the day. So one of the things that we first came up with will be a concrete pad area with like a swing style seat and shade structure over the top of it. Would be something there. Probably add some trash receptacles up on that end, and just depending on where we're at on money, how far we can go. Personally, I'm starting to think maybe we ought to tear out the old court and
Mhm.
replace it, possibly with more pickleball. I've had a lot of people waiting. I mean, of course it's timing too, right? And you hate to build
Right.
too much. If we did that, it would be multi-use. We need to because I see people playing basketball and I see people pickleball and things. I don't see a whole lot of tennis,
Yeah, I don't
by
either.
itself,
Mm.
but I see a lot of the others. And anyway, we'll face that when we get to it. Going to start ditching on Mill Street, be everything east of Indiana 62 down to 150. And reason for that being is, Mona, do you want to take over as far as how NDOT reached out and how all that goes, or do you want me to try to link through it?
You got this.
Anyway, we applied for that section of Mill Street, so it'd be County Road 150 East, or some know it as Fifth Street. But anyhow, it's going to be the town's boundary on the east side. And then from there, all the way back to 62. We applied for that and were denied earlier in the year because of the date on the contractor's quote or something. Anyway, it was a small formality. Well, anyhow, NDOT reached out to the office via an email or phone call. Really weird. We even doubted if it was true or not at first, but they have excess funds left, and essentially have reached out and said, since we applied, that if we can get them, we go ahead and bid the project, take the bids, take them under advisement, and send them the lowest bid. They've all but guaranteed to give us the funding for it. So then at that point,
all over the
yeah,
place.
so then
Oh,
we
really?
would award the project, but we can't award the project until we get funds, and we can't. It's really, really messed up. But anyway, we put together, Mona and I put together a bid package, and we'll release it. When will that go out?
Well, we'd like to put it in the paper for the in following weeks, because there's deadlines, so we're hoping if we get it in tomorrow, it could be in the following week's paper.
Yes,
Okay,
with us at least.
Yeah.
okay. And then the tentative, then it would run for how long was it?
I know you talked about maybe trying to, so we looked at the possibility of having a meeting on the 21st, but that would not give them much time to see the paper.
Which is, it can't be out very long, because we have to have it turned in no later than
So
the
that-
end of April.
It would come out in the paper the week of the 13th.
Weeks.
Yeah, so it would come out the week of the 13th. We thought we'd let it run for a week and then it's up to the board. If you guys want to have a bid opening, if you want to have another special call meeting for a bid opening, or if you wanted to appoint me to do that, then I'll just schedule it for like the middle of my workday somewhere, 1 o'clock or whatever. we'll bring them all in, then we'll open them publicly and take it under advisement, and then we'll go from there. So that's up to you guys. I know, like you said earlier, everybody's got jobs, things like that. We're not actually gonna award it or anything, so.
I motion for what he said.
Yeah.
so- And if that's the case, if we did that, then I would say like the 21st or 22nd moment, like 1 o'clock, we just have a bid opening.
Yeah,
So whichever one of those. I have a meeting that morning, I think. Yeah, and then,
So a bid opening, all the people that bid on it will come here.
they can be, yeah, they can
And then
be
we'll
here, or they
open.
can drop it off, a sealed bid, and then that way, the reason they do sealed bid openings, and the reason I like to do it, there's no cheating,
Yeah.
right? You send it in, it's in a sealed envelope, you don't open it, we don't see any numbers at all until right then. So that's the reason that we'll have like a certain bid opening,
Mhm.
so. But I do have,
Yeah, if you are comfortable doing it, I'm okay with it.
I'm fine with it. Mona, are you okay with the 21st at 1?
yeah.
And then if nothing else, could you be here just as another,
I'll try. What day is
Okay.
that on?
the 21st is on a Tuesday.
On Tuesday. See what if I can round up somebody to watch my little evenings.
Okay. So, okay, then that's what we will do. We'll put it out for bid and plan a bid opening the 21st at 1 o'clock Central.
Awesome, thank you.
Hopefully it works. I mean, if we get one bid, then,
Yeah.
and NDOT does what they say, we should be able to move forward with the project, so. Then we get Mill Street, and then the only thing we got left is the rest of their
Okay.
road
Oh,
and
what?
Boone Street.
You said that?
Then we start all over.
You said from Middle all the way to 62 is what they're gonna be
It'd be
bidding?
from 150 east, so like where Trivie's is, right down there all the way back out to the highway. Be that whole road.
Cool.
All right, anything else?
That's all I have.
All right, then, public,
Well, the water tractor. Did you wanna?
Moment.
Water tractor, do you guys want to start the process of looking into water tractor for the privacy for getting some tram clause? Instead of just treating that, if we just have that.
yeah, we probably need to get this ball rolling, because it takes a bit to get it
Yeah.
done, and then decide what the increase is, so. Don't you think?
Get, we would have to put a water tracker in to see the difference. Is that what?
Yeah, Pat Callahan,
If we
I'll
can
try.
contact him and see, he would do the.
He
figures
does-
and See what actual,
well, is a tracker but different than a rate study?
I think it is, yes.
Yeah, it's more of like a bird's eye view instead of getting really in depth. It's kind of, yeah. It's a lot cheaper for one, so.
But he'll still give us, like, you probably should increase by this amount by this time.
Slightly inflated numbers.
That we're paying,
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
and
know
usually,
How much we need to up ours to cover that.
yeah, and
Okay.
usually he's got like different scenarios, that way you can pick A, B, or C or whatever, so.
that's what I thought. Yeah. Do we need a motion for that? To call Pat in?
I don't know.
You want a motion?
Yeah, I'll motion to put in the tracker for the water.
All right,
And use Pat Callahan.
I'll second, all in favor? All right. Now, town or public comments or concerns?
You got something? Not concerned about anything?
All right, claims and payroll docket it is. How is Matthew doing on testing.
Hmm.
Okay,
The ball is in Matt's court. He has to want it, you know, so, yeah.
how hard is gas increases hitting us? You guys probably use a lot of fuel driving out everywhere.
Up until now, since we started buying bulk, I've been holding out, hoping that it will drastically drop.
Go down.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fill our bulk tank, so, yeah, I mean, hopefully we only had to get hit once during this whole thing, but yeah, we do buy in bulk, so.
Okay, that helps.
I motion to approve claims and payroll docket.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
But you know, it just hits in multiple ways, because then, like, everything goes up. When fuel prices go up, everything goes up.
I know. I had to stop buying blueberries. They used to be
Yeah,
$5 a pint, then they went up to 7. This week they're up to 9.
almost, yeah, I'd say almost $10.
Yes.
Wow.
And I got to check out with my blueberries and they spilled.
Oh my gosh.
I would have picked them up and ate them if I'd already paid for
Right.
I didn't wash them. Yeah.
All right, we'll adjourn at 5.
You gotta soak those pesticides off them anyway.
Oh, yeah, I won't eat.
Apple cider vinegar and baking soda.